This might be the new king of mobile photography. This is the Vivo X200 Pro. Recently, I've been testing out the Vivo X200 Pro. It is a smartphone that is not globally available just yet, but it might be the new camera king, especially compared to the competition. Today we're going to be focusing mainly on the camera itself, but before we get into that, I'm going to do a really speed review of what this phone has to offer. It is a 223-gram phone, so it's, I would say, it really nicely weighed in terms of just, how it feels in hand. It has a super nice AMOLED display that goes up to 120 Hz, and it's a 6.78-inch display. It has an in-display fingerprint sensor, which is an ultrasonic sensor, meaning it's blazing fast and secure. Overall, it feels really premium, a real flagship in build quality, both in how it feels in hand, how it weighs in hand, and even the camera bump being a little bit higher just feels, really nicely optimized for usage. While it's still a pretty big camera bump. But as you can see, the back is also very cool and beautiful. It's kind of like a brushstroke through the whole phone. It's really nice and really, is a nice looking different design than the normal 2024 flagships. This is powered on the MediaTek Dimensity 9400, which is super powerful. So you can play all the modern games and do everything you want to do on this phone with no problems. And do that in high quality. You have stereo speakers on the top and the bottom, and they sound really good. It has a really nice big 6000 mAh battery. Also is capable of 90 watt wired charging and 30 watts in wireless charging. In the box you actually get the 90 watt charger. Speaking of the box, it's a really nice looking design. It's like a little bit different, a really premium, and it just looks really cool. And in the box you also get this rubber case for the phone. So when you put it on the case, you do lose the design aspect on the back, but this is how it looks like, and it's a pretty nice case for you to start with. And now we can get into the fun part of this smartphone, the cameras on the back. On the Vivo X200 Pro, we have a triple camera setup, and while it does look like it's a quad camera setup, it's actually just a triple camera setup, with the main being a 50 megapixel camera sensor. Then we have the 50 megapixel ultra wide angle lens, and then we have a 200 megapixel telephoto, which is a periscope lens, and that is equivalent to like an 85mm on a full frame camera. So we have 3 different cameras and 3 different lenses, which all are really nice. Essentially, the periscope lens is like a 3x7 zoom compared to the main camera sensor, and because it's a 200 megapixel camera sensor, you can really zoom in digitally and still have a really nice looking photo. And as you might have noticed, there is collaboration with Zeiss, and what they do is actually, there's a couple of different things. We have the optics from them, and also the coding of the optics and the camera module from Zeiss. So it's like a full-fledged cooperation. And that can be seen in the software itself too. When we go into the photo mode, there is plenty of options for you to choose from. So for example, with the colors itself, you can choose for vivid, you can go for textured, or for the Zeiss natural. And my favorite would be the Zeiss natural. It just feels that extra nice. I just feel like the colors and the final product from this phone look really incredible. So I really like that Zeiss natural. We have plenty of options like the portraits and moon shots. So if you're looking into that kind of stuff, it's definitely here. It's a full-fledged package. So little editorial note, this phone actually does the macro shots on its telephoto camera, meaning that it's more natural, the subject or the object looks the way it should. It isn't on the wide angle lens, so it doesn't look stretched out. Everything actually looks like the way it would look from a human's eye perspective. The object size and all the angles are the way they would be. So it's very cool if you like that kind of shots, and autofocus works in that mode. So it's a really good phone for macro photography. And the end result is pretty nice. And I have to say that I was pleasantly surprised. Having the Xiaomi 14 Ultra as my daily driver that takes really good photos, I was really surprised how good this phone is. I was expecting it to be a little bit under the Xiaomi, but I actually feel this might be a better phone in terms of photos. I just feel like the final outcome, the colors, just look really nice, especially on the screen. When I looked on the screen of the phone, they look really, really good. I just feel like it's really nicely made so that the highlight, shadows, dynamic range, colors, saturation and sharpness, everything in a combined package is really good on this phone. On this phone you can shoot photos in JPEG and RAW, meaning you can edit those photos on your phone or on your computer. Overall, for photography, this is an incredible smartphone, and I feel like this might be the best camera on a smartphone in 2024. So I would say it's beating the competition. In terms of video, I feel it's the same thing. It's really good in all aspects. It can record up to 8K 30 frames per second, but that is supposedly only in China. So we're gonna have to look how it's gonna work on the global market. But at the moment I can shoot in 8K 30 frames per second or in 4K 60 frames per second across all of the lenses. You can also shoot in 4K 120 frames per second if you want that extra slow motion. Not only that, you can record in 10-bit, meaning you have more details in colors, especially if you want to edit that in post-production. And even better for those that want to edit in post-production, you can actually record in log format in 4K 60 frames per second across all of the lenses. So that is something that is, I would say, pretty incredible. Most phones can only shoot in log in limited frame rates like 30 frames per second or just on the main camera sensor, while this can do it on all of the camera sensors and in 4K 60 frames per second, so it looks spectacular. So it really is a nice feature to have on your phone. So once again, I feel like it might be the best phone for video. So essentially, as a camera package for both photos and videos, this is an incredible phone. And if you're looking for an Android device that has incredible photo quality, this might be the best pick at the moment. The only thing is a little bit harder to get at the moment as it's the China model and it's not globally available just yet. But you can find it on TradingShenzen. That is who I got this phone from for testing. So if you're interested in this phone and would like to have one yourself, check out the link down below for TradingShenzen so you can right away get your hands on the Vivo X200 Pro. Overall, I'm super positively surprised how good this phone is. The photo and videos on it are just incredibly well done. The color accuracy, sharpness, there's pretty much nothing I would say that is bad on this phone. And I know that sometimes it's gonna be better or worse depending on the situation or just the lighting, but overall I would say it's a really good camera. I would say it's really hard to beat. Like I said before, this might be the new camera king of smartphones. All in all, the Vivo X200 Pro is an amazing smartphone and it's an amazing camera in itself. But the question is going to be, how is it going to be priced on the global market? And if it's worth the price, it's going to be something that you have to decide for yourself. But overall, the Vivo X200 Pro feels like a complete package. If you have any more questions about the Vivo X200 Pro, let me know in the comment section down below. With that being said, that is going to be the end of today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I hope you guys enjoyed this video once again, and I'll see you next time.